Jack Strongitharm, technology advocate, senior solutions engineer at Unity. I've known Jack too long. You've got a colourful history in the construction sector, ex-Autodesk, well, you've done scanning, you've done a bit of everything. Jack is senior solutions engineer for the EMEA region, with strong background in the industry, brings a valuable experience as a civil and site engineer. If you want to talk about pipes, this is the man to speak to. Prior to joining Unity, Jack held technical experience positions at both Autodesk and Faro, honed his skills in cutting-edge technologies. His current capacity at Unity, Jack is in a pivotal role about advancing building information modeling and projects, and his primary objective is to transform BIM into an interactive experience for digital twins, leveraging formidable capabilities through Unity, and he just drives the AC sector forwards, and he's got some bloody cool toys to play with. So make sure during the day you go and check out his room of toys and his colleagues. Everyone from Unity, just wave your hands quickly. Awesome. Got a few of them in the room. So yeah, go play. They've got a Vision Pro, Apple's latest and greatest, or latest toy, latest gimmick. I don't know. I'm not pro Apple, but some people are. Anyway, thank you very much, Jack.
Technology. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for attending on the second day, and a real great thanks to Max. You should see how much work he's put into doing this event. Literally here until 1 o'clock in the morning most nights, dealing with IT people on the other side of the planet, and making sure this event's successful for you guys. And I'd also like to thank you for coming to Unity in the deep, dark south of England in Brighton. I know it's near nothing, but hopefully you brought the sun today. You're at a seaside town. Go and see the sea before you go home. But it's great to have you all here, and great to fill this room with great colleagues like yourselves. All right, a little bit about me. So unfortunately, Max did read the bio out. I would have shortened it if I knew that. But like you said, I had a proper job once. It was a civil engineer. I used to design roads, bridges, and traffic calming for my sins. And I moved into technology about 20 years ago at Autodesk, and I was leading up making software suitable for the British market for a start, because you get software vendors that just farm out this kind of bilge. And I made sure that on the civil engineering side, we had like a British product, and it helped set the theme for the rest of that organization as well. And along that lines, I met a lot of you, people like Max as well, and really to start spread the word of BIM at the start of that journey, because we were doing modeling to make drawings faster. How wrong is that as an example? But it's what we were making software to do, is to produce the technical drawings quicker and more efficiently. And like I say, I've been at Faro as well doing laser scanning, and this is actually where I came across Unity. And down in the bottom corner, you can see this little VR running machine, which I built 6 years ago. I was literally dropped in it for a trade show, and the product guys have bought this thing and they said, oh yeah, we'll build it for you. You know, it'll be all sent to the event. And about 2 days before the event said, oh yeah, we ran out of time. In what way? Well, we couldn't do it for you. I was like, there's a big hole in Birmingham now because that's where this thing's going to go. And I was on holiday in a caravan in Barmouth with my kids, dumped with this problem. I'm like, how the hell do I do this? And I was searching around for this piece of equipment that they were sent over. And I found that Unity, you could just plug it in and it would work. So I just learned how to make a Mario game, switch the content from being coins and crazy things that are in Mario to a laser scan. And we were collecting laser scanners around the area. And I found that this was a turning point in my career. Because we've been doing modeling for so long, you know, most people now have CAD models that they can use in other ways now. How do we make it now interactive? How do we experience it in different places? We've got obviously the rise of VR at the time, but also tablets and phones. And the calling card was to Unity. And we had an agreement with Autodesk at the time. It just made sense to come here. So I've been here for about 5 years now. Kind of how do we evolve what we have already with BIM to all new use cases? And hopefully you'll see some of those examples today as well. So that's the flavor now. You saw that video there with a lot of gamey things because it is a gaming company. We don't make games. We make the platform to build your own game on it. But about 8 years ago, companies were using our technology to do innovation. You know, we've already had some slides for innovation. Companies should always be doing innovation. And innovation at that time was how do we make VR possible was one of the topics, and augmented reality. And Unity was ready there to go. So people using it before even Unity knew who any of you were. And they didn't know what you was doing with the software, but then they kept seeing all these cool things emerge. So now obviously we focus on it. The last 5 years plus, we have obviously a dedicated team, and we're trying to solve all the hard problems so you can focus on the creative problems that you wish to focus on. So as a company, we're a lot bigger than you think. We are worldwide. We've got quite a few offices and staff. We've had a little jiggle around for the last 6 months, but things are now at a reset pace. And we are downloaded 3.7 billion times a month. Yeah, most things on your phone, games maybe, things that your kids put on there. If you've got an electric car, if you've got even vacuum cleaners, you're probably experiencing Unity in some shape, way, or form. We are in everything. We don't, you know, we make cars, we don't just visualize them. You know, so those are the kind of things that you'll see us in. So Unity is a product, probably none of you really get to use this product, but you might start to consume things from it. And what it is, it's a visual programming development platform to go and make anything that you wish. It imports CAD models and pictures, videos, whatever it is. You put your own buttons on there and make experiences on all different devices. And traditionally, you've had to know coding, so C# or even visual scripting has been the way. I don't know any of that, and I will never learn it. But I can make applications like crazy because the last 12 months, ChatGPT has emerged. And we actually even have our own GPT service now with the product to help you develop these things. So actually this technology is now reachable by all of you or by a new breed of staff members. I keep telling companies to go and find the colleges who are doing gaming courses because that's where your new talent lives. They're all at college, they're learning the game, but rather than going to either build a game at home or go to a company that makes games, make them the king or queen of XR or whatever it is that you wish, because they're the new talent that you should bring into your companies. My son finishes his course in 2 years, so he'll be ready on the job market. So he's the kind of person you want. So we don't do this alone. We are teamed up with so many companies around us. Because we are a platform, we connect to other services. We deliver on all different platforms just as much. So you'll recognize a lot of the names on here as well, such as Autodesk, Capgemini, AWS, and Apple. Our main thing is what we do is that we can reach so many different devices. So in the AEC industry, you are typically restricted to a PC because that's generally where the software is made to use it on a PC. The thing is, your customers, your end users have lots of different devices. They may have either a business laptop, they probably have Macs in a lot of cases. They have tablets, they have phones. They want to use VR, all those kind of things. And how do you get your content onto those devices? So we're always front and center on all these platforms before you even know about it. So Max mentioned the Vision Pro that's in the back room. We had that for 3 years before it was even announced, so that things were ready on day one of launch. And even a year before that, we have customers building for that new device before it's launched as well. And you should see the things we have in locked cupboards here and there. Not in this office, but in some of the other ones, there's some cool tech waiting for your attention. So we're always front and center. And if you look at them, it's also mobility. Things that are in your pocket, things that you're going to be wearing. It's not about the super powered RTX ray tracing graphics card supercomputer that could be bought. It's making it mobile and accessible. And that's really one of our strengths, mobile first and everywhere. If you do want to buy any VR headsets, we actually work on every single one of them in some shape, way, or form. So we support them because there are open standards to make these things work, something called OpenXR. So you can buy any of these things and you'll have a way of getting content on there. And things like HoloLenses, Magic Leaps, and now that toy that's in the back room is the Vision Pro. It's one of those things that lights up the kind of the technology landscape again. The interest is brought back is devices like this. Don't go out and buy lots of these things because there will be another version in 12 months probably. I won't confirm that one, but there probably will be. But it's these things that gets the attention. Everybody's interested again, and then you can come to us to get there. So what we're trying to do is go really from what people have been making in our platform, which is games, and getting it into digital twins in some shape, way, or form. And we bring a lot of capability with us. We have multiplayer, so you can have lots of people in that environment. We can make it mobile or VR or PC, doesn't matter which. And we can also simulate the mechanics of things, the physics, how things move, how things operate. Because you have these models, but they're dead and static. If all you do is make a rendering, you're just making a video of how it looks. But how does it even work? Yeah. So, and you can simulate that so simple. And then we're trying to put other things where we connect it to things like IoT or databases, whatever you want it to be, we can generally pull it off. So I mentioned BIM, and if you're at these kind of conferences, 15 years ago, this chart was presented to you. Yeah, who remembers this chart? Let's have a see. Dedicate. It is horrible, yes. And we used to love this at Autodesk because everybody was here. And the dream was kind of here, and the mandate was going to be there. It was generally a good push to give everybody a kick to move forward in the industry in some shape, way, or form. And we were kind of doing this, as I mentioned, to do this. So stupid. And really the value was here, is how we share data, make it accessible, try and get rid of problems before they happen, all those things. And there was this dream of IBIM. It was a dream, how we could be collaborative, version control, and have a whole life cycle approach to it. And that IBIM is, well, digital twins, isn't it? That's really the evolution of BIM now, is now we have that BIM kind of ecosystem life cycle. Is now there's use cases from it. And these are just a couple of examples. So the obvious is the virtual twin, the interactive, the experience, spatial awareness, and collaborative kind of experience. And you can get these off the shelf. There's products that are made with Unity that I'll show later, and you can easily get there. But there's a lot more to get out of them as we move forward, how we connect things like AI, learning, autonomous, all those kind of great things. So that's just an idea of where we're going to go to with digital twins. And these are some examples of Unity being used in all different ways. So I'm not just going to show you buildings and civil engineering projects, but to give you an awareness of things you might have used, from shopping for a handbag or a pair of shoes on eBay, robotics, car design, shopping experiences, whatever it may be, we typically use. So there was a great presentation yesterday morning from the futurist guy. Can't remember his name, was he? Ant. Really good presentation. And he was showing all these things that were kind of for the next 2 or 3 years. And Generally, most of those things have probably been built with some of our tech to get them there. And all the limitation is more the adoption of that technology. The technology exists. It's now how do we adopt it in our everyday lives is really the future. So the other thing I want to mention as well is from my past at places like Autodesk, we make a product, you get what you buy, but you get then what everybody's bought. So nobody really is innovating. You're just using the buttons that are available to you to go from A to B. So, and then you have requirements to work with your customers and share information or make even an experience for your customers. But if you're using the same product that everybody else is, you're not really standing out from the crowd. So the ability that we bring here is to do it in your own way, your own brand, and the features that really you require. You're not at the mercy of a product roadmap. The roadmap is under you instead. And this is now the future abilities to have your own technology, but from a base that we can help you get there from. So tailor everything to your customers' requirements, your needs, and you'll move on in your own way and differentiate yourselves from each other as well to where you want to focus. So we have this term here, and rather than calling ourselves a game engine, we created a new term just to confuse you. It's just like BIM. It was one of those confusing terms that everybody had their own variation of it. So we call it real-time 3D. So it's just so if you ask for money for anything, well, if you say a game engine, they're just like going to laugh at you. Yeah, we're not giving you money for games. Come on, shut up. But real-time 3D, it's vague enough that they wouldn't have a clue what you're asking for. So that's just a general tip. But the idea of this is to go beyond just videos. So things actually run in operation. So it's rendering in real time. So the graphics are actually working as you are running the experience, be it on, all the fun devices. So here we got a watch configurator, and there's a really nice one in the back room. The watch is £150,000 each. So maybe just have a look at the tablets, fine. Dream. And then you can see here's one that's been used in the shop. Because again, a lot of these things, you have so many different variations of a product that there's no way you could ever see them all. So this is one way to experience them. So you could be building products as well, all the different windows, different door ironmongery, whatever it is, it's a way to see that content. And then collaboration, how we work more remotely now and in that project rather than watching somebody else's Teams screen, because that's quite defeatist, I think. And then all the different platforms that we have. And the thing that's happened really is that there's some great reports by McKinsey and a few of the others of where people have gone into this industry, that they're really getting huge returns on their investment and really differentiating in the crowd as well. And I knew that would happen. So somebody changed the slide. So here we have an environment, and I'm in really a real-time space. And is that you, Rebecca, at the back? Or is it Matt? I should put names on these people. So this is like Among Us. And look, somebody's now driving my PowerPoint screen. Yeah, changing the real-time environment. So here I can change the slides, move it around, and then people are in here. But you see, everything's working. There's physics behind it. Obviously, we're showing robotics. And then I can say, hang on, I want to show you the next slide. And move it on. And I change everybody's view in real time. And then I go again. And here we got a scan of a device. We got some robotics. And then I can go and click on this thing. And get some metadata, because we always take metadata into our content. So you can use it and then link metadata to other services. Could be a GIS system, databases, whatever it may be. Because it is the glue, the I in BIM. Let's do another slide. So this is just a very simple experience, and this will actually work on the web as well. So you don't even have to install any software. And this is one of the things that you can get to is remove the limitation of IT and jump straight to a web browser or other experiences. But we can also add voice or use Teams, whatever it may be. But now think of your possibilities. How do you present your project work? How do you present option A, B, and C? and get people in there to understand scale, form and function, limitations. Will I bang my head on certain places? Can I actually access certain things? How's it going to work? It's like just in our bathrooms in here, nobody can find the kitchen towel, to dry your hands on because it's too damn low down. But if you've been in there and washing your hands, in the virtual space, you think, I can't see where I'm going to dry my hands. We could have solved that problem before we installed any of it and changed the design a bit, because you've got to think about ergonomics, different heights, simple things. But if you just render in a picture, you're never going to understand it from your own perspective and your customer's perspective on what you're doing. So that's really the theme of the story here. Let's go back to slides. And really, it should have been on that slide, but somebody pressed the button. Matt, blame him. Anyway, moving on. So who's using this? Well, actually, a lot of people. We're really popular in product manufacturing. They actually have to do something. They have to put a screen on the washing machine or the cars or whatever it is. But there's a lot of people in energy and buildings and various other things, because they've got to either remove health hazards, safety hazards, or again, they're trying to show their information to different places. So we are everywhere. You just didn't know that's what you was using. The other things, you might experience products made with Unity, because that's generally a popular thing as well. So even the big Autodesk, they've got a new XR product. It's all built on Unity as well. So you're already experiencing it. The Revitso, very popular as well. PaceLab Weaver, all these kind of names. You probably got some of these products yourself, but didn't know it came from us. We are like there by stealth. And this, what I say is, like, if you want to innovate and grow your company or grow your experiences, this is one place to look at to go that next step further. Because I'd say a lot of things are very saturated in terms of they're at a maturity level that what you get is what you get. How do you go beyond that? How do you go to the levels that your customers and needs come to you? So a couple more use cases. So these are some of the areas that we really excel at. The immersive training, be it on headsets or be it on even just your computer. The collaborative way, so putting you in that space and at full scale. And then what your customer experience is like. And then the other thing is, I mentioned it earlier, is you definitely experiences in most electric cars. And we've got a few examples of that too. So a company you might have heard of, HR Wallingford, they do a lot of marine kind of work now. They used to own the drainage software as well, but that got privatized off. But they do a lot of simulation training for people on boats and insurance projects as well. I think they might be working on that thing in America as well, where the bridge kind of came down. We are a real good way of, even in a court case, proving something out, seeing things from different perspectives that you obviously can't do from video and pictures. This is Audi. They're learning how to put things together before it's actually on the manufacturing floor, because you know as much as me, once something's built, it's built. And if you take people there to go and work on that place itself, you got no chance of learning. You should have done that before you get there. I remember when Heathrow Terminal 5 was launched, and there was like almost a 2-week delay of it actually functioning, because nobody knew where the hell they were going, let alone how the job was going to be done, what they were going to do. It was a disaster, a real bad disaster. And this is why this is there, because if you've got these models anyway, because you're designed to construct them more effectively, is get more use cases out of that content and go and use it to train your staff and other things on what you're going to do in a safe environment, off-site, in an office, or even remote now is quite easy to be done. We use it in healthcare a lot, so Siemens and Philips, for example. It's used in surgery, practice, also, surgery layouts. So this is like a virtual showroom. So they're showing all the different kind of ways that setup could be. I mentioned the watch company. This is the example that we have in the back room. Audemars Piguet, like I say, 150 grand these watches are. So just look at the pictures, it's fine. But their problem is their watches are unique. So they can't have their showrooms with every watch type, plus the cost of every watch type being in that shop. It's not practical. So they create more of a showroom experience and then customize what somebody's looking for on the app, and then it's built to order. And that's also how we're trying to get to in construction and other areas, is built to order, this lean construction kind of approach. But if you can configure these things in a way to do that approach in a obviously affordable way, a digital twin, it's just a different way of looking at it, but it's not a video. It's an interactive experience with all the CAD content converted from, for us, it's Revit. It could be from CATIA, IFC files, whatever it is, we can get you there. This is Robert Bird down in Australia. So again, construction sequencing was one of those big wins for BIM, as well as clash detection. But again, you're limited by the software that does it. And really, you may want to do it in a completely different way and present it maybe I heard you doing work packages here as part of the group. Well, that's the other thing, is putting this information in chunk-sized pieces so people can understand it. Again, most of the software that you get are not made for work packages. They're made for just a model and whatever functionality you have. So you could really reimagine how a work package could be created and delivered for the end user that's just got a smartphone. And they all have access to the same information. They don't have to go into the site cabin and go on Navisworks or Synchro or whatever technology you're using today. This is Sitowise over in Finland. So this is a port that they have, and they have different variations from the big screen that the operator has, so they know where all the ships coming in and the container operations. But even to the people that are on site, they have an iPhone or an Android tablet, and they have the same information. So it's live feeds of all the movements, and they also know where they need to be at different times. So again, it's delivering same content to different places and different form factors. And then, so PNB Paribas, a bigger estate owner, mainly leasing in France. They have so much estates that they have no clue what they own. And they've been scanning it with Matterport cameras for quite some time, but they had no experience really to share everything. So they almost built their own Google Earth of France just to put this out in a way that all their users can use it. So one, for their customers to find available retail space or office space or whatever it may be, and also for them to operate it as well. And then Mercedes-Benz. So we have got really popular in cars recently. We can't tell you about every deal that's going on because there's paperwork and various other things, but the public ones are Mercedes-Benz and Mazda. They've decided to go public. So every car from Mercedes this year will be enabled fully by Unity. Mazda, all their cars, and it's the screen. Obviously, we like buttons. If you watch CarWire, he's always moaning about lack of buttons. That's up to them. That's not our fault. Just because we can make every single button, that's up to their designers. But these screens are made in this way. And the reason is we can run our technology on a $10 chip. So for them, they're saving tons of money. One screen rather than all these dials and cables. They have a black box, one big screen, bang, it works. And you can also play games on it as well. The other manufacturer beginning with T has something like that too. Anyway, to wrap up, so we're here really for you to innovate. That's really the main takeaway. And we can read your content, whatever it may be. We have ways to get it in or to connect to it. So that's really the hard part done, how we make it accessible. Really, it's about now you thinking about how we create experiences that we just have never had. Yeah, and I really go to all the colleges and grab all these kids that are coming out with game designer on the title because they're ready for employment. And then push it out to whatever device you wish. Yeah, don't be limited by the computer you have in your bag. So I won't bore you to death with the slides. You get access to them all anyway, but we get all the content in. We can take 70 file formats, so we're generally pretty covered, and the technology to push it out to all these experiences. So we're here to support you. You're here to bring new talent into your organizations. You'll scale out in brand new ways, I assure you. and we're really industry focused. So just because we are a game company, effectively, we've got a massive investment on industry. It's almost becoming half and half in Unity to the amount of people that are shared in this company on different things. And we're available through all the global partners. So Symmetry, Arcance, now what was Cadline, all those names that you buy Autodesk software through, Microsoft software, whatever you buy normally through those channels, you can get our technology through them. And also they'll support you on that journey as well through their own local staff as well. And I just want to say thanks for having us. And also big thanks to TDS Synex and HP. They delivered like 8 computers for our back room, so I didn't have to bring any of ours. So have a look at them. There's some people from there as well today as well. And come and try our experiences. There's lots of toys to play with and examples, and hopefully have a good rest of your day. I'll pass it back to Max. Did I give you 10 minutes back? I'm not sure. Because he was worried about coffee breaks, as Max does. Are you good? Thanks for everything.
That's amazing. Thank you, Stephen. So he forgot his last slide. If you're interested in connecting with him, that goes to your LinkedIn, doesn't it, Jack? Fantastic. Well, thank you again, Jack. Awesome. Please do go see him and the Unity Centers of Excellence team. Well worth talking to them. So I just need to exit out the presentation and go back in because your results are in. Haha.